Hi, everybody. It is the Spiritual Light Passing Through, Miss Pat, and I am back at you with another video. And this video, we are going to be dealing with going and gathering our shattered pieces of ourselves. Okay? So, in this, I told you I was going to get kind of heavy, and this is going to be an area that we're going to go a little light this time. We're not going to go too heavy. I'm going to leave the heavy lifting up to you. Right now, I'm going to show you how to do the heavy lifting in a meditative state. So, without further ado, let's begin. Find yourself a very comfortable place in your house. Have a seat. And we're going to go to that place that I taught you how to go to. We're going to get reintroduced into our person that we have not met, and that is our inner spirit and our inner man and our inner woman that we have not really had a chance to conversate with, and we're going to get to know her a little bit and him a little bit more because we have to go somewhere today. And I'm going to hold your hand through it, but you are going to have to do the work. Okay? So, without further ado, let's close our eyes. Let's take a deep breath in and blow it out. Take a deep breath in and blow it out. Take a deep breath in and blow it out. This time, you should feel yourself pretty big now. You know the feeling. If you need to expand, you may expand. You may get as big as you like to get at this very moment. Okay? Now, this part of yourself is the part of yourself that is non judgmental to others. It understands a whole lot more than you realize you understand. It is a part of you that is logical, that understands all things in the universe. You just don't realize it yet. But, moreover, it understands non judgmental. You are mutual in your ability to think. You don't take sides. You're not biased. You understand and can see all sides of a matter. This is who you truly are, who you were trained to be before you even came into this world. Now, we have someplace we need to go. I hope you are ready. Take a deep breath and exhale it out. You're fully prepared. Don't worry. Where we're about to go is to a place and a scene in your life which was the first place you felt inadequate, like you did not matter. Only you know this place. No one else knows. I do not know. I cannot see this scene in your life, but it is a place where you first felt inadequate. Whoever you are there with as a child, you are there with. You see it. But me and you are standing off to the side. You see yourself as a child and you see the other party there having that conversation that made you feel inadequate. For some of us, it may be very painful to look back on this scene, but we must look at it together. We must be able to see the situation and whom we are talking about. Now, you may hear the conversation going and you may see your smaller self as a child very upset, not understanding what is happening, or understanding very well what is happening and you're very angry at the things that you're hearing. We're going to stop this conversation between you and the other party. We're going to freeze it right now. I want you to take that child in that scene, take it by the hand, and walk out of that room. And as you're walking out of that room, I want you to take that child out a door that opens to a park where there's ducks and there's nobody else around, just a few trees and ducks in the distance, birds flying. And I want you to sit that child down on the bench that's there. And I want you to talk to that kid. And I want you to tell that kid that whatever's being said back then, it's not their fault. It's not their fault. The person that said it to you is young. They don't understand what they are doing. And it's not their fault. You're a kid. You can't change anything. No, you can't get a little job to fix it. No, you can't go and talk to somebody and tell them to stop messing with someone. You can't do any of those things because you're too small, nor do you understand the entire situation. So no. And you tell that kid, we're going to sit here for a while and we're going to talk. And you can tell that kid anything that you want to tell them. But you're also going to tell them that I'm going to take you out of that room this time. And you're never going to go back to that person like that. And you never have to think about that scene and that part of your little life anymore. You're going to go with me. Okay? All right. Now you tell that little kid that's sitting there, I need you to sit on the bench and don't go anywhere. I got to go talk to that other person in the room that we left in there. Okay? All right. Let's go back. And now you take the place of the child that was sitting there with the other party. Your fully grown self. Yourself that can defend yourself. Yourself that's big. Yourself that can tell them exactly how you feel and the way you feel. How they may be wrong. All of that. And you can tell them anything that you choose to tell them at this time that you could not have told them because you were a child. Now, after you tell them this, you must and you have to forgive them because they know not what they do and what they have done to you and how it has affected you over the years and affected that little child that you left sitting on the bench in the park. But as an adult and as the spirit that you are, you can tell them exactly how you feel in this moment and how you have felt from this point forward all the way into an adult, because this is where it started. Do what you must at this moment. Have your moment. Take your power back that this person chose to take from you when you were very much so a small person and did not even understand power and usurping of power from someone. Breathe in, breathe out. Pour out your heart, say what you say, cuss, holler, do whatever you must do, but do it. Now, you can tell that person you can either disappear or you can burn in this room because I'm about to set this room on fire. It's up to that person what they want to do. If they don't say anything, if they're still arguing in your face, if you see that they are not listening, then fine, we're going to burn this room down because that child is never returning back to this place again to be hurt, chastised, made to feel small, any of those things ever again. Light your match, set fire to it, and walk out the door. And go see that kid sitting on the bench, and you all enjoy the rest of your afternoon watching the birds and the ducks at the park. You reassure that child I'm going to always be here to protect you no matter what. You're going to go through some things as you get bigger, but trust me, you're going to turn out all right. I'm going to let you stay there for a little while. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Open your eyes. Some of you all may be a little bit upset, but what I did for you is to give you a chance to say what you needed to say, because many of us never get a chance to say the things we need to say to people who made us feel a certain type of way, that have shaped our beings as we are as adults. They started in one small space, and it continued and it continued and continued, and we do not know how to go back and and go grab those things, okay? We need to go and grab our little tiny selves, love on our little tiny selves, tell our little selves it's okay. Tell our little selves that we're going to protect them from this point forward, because some of us are still walking around as those children in that room, in that very moment, still having that moment over and over and over again, and we don't realize that we do. That's the reason why we can't figure out what's wrong with our lives today, because power was taken away from us as a child. We don't understand what happened. Why is this person mean to me? Why did this person hit me? Why did this person do something that they shouldn't have been doing to a child, to me? And we've been living as we say, survivors, but we're still victims to a certain extent, because we haven't let it go. We haven't forgiven the other person, and most of all, we haven't forgiven ourselves. We gotta let it go. I'm a rape survivor. I had to let that go. Not all men do that. Not all men think that way. As a child, I almost got molested. Okay? There are things that we, in our minds, stay like museums of terrible things that we go and buy tickets for and to look at and replay. And when we get hurt, we combine all of those things together and blow up on somebody. And we feel like we have the right to, and we do not. The reason why I want you to get used to listening to that other person and seeing that other person that you have never seen before that gets big is because that part of you is impartial. That part of you understands this is a classroom. That part of you understands that it was an experience for your soul. As terrible as it may have been, as awful as it may have been, it was just an experience. And we do not understand it because we've made it this huge part of our life. It's this boogeyman in the back that we want to cover when we want to meet new people and act like it don't exist, or try to say that we normal and ain't nothing wrong with us, and we cool like that, but we not cool like that. That's the Dr. Jekyll that's waiting in the back, and Mr. Hyde. That's what you're playing in your life. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Mr. Hyde is the one that's been abused and talked about and made to feel a certain type of way. And Dr. Jekyll is the one that, yeah, I'm a good guy. I just need a good woman. You know what I'm saying? But Dr. Jekyll was waiting behind the scenes somewhere to come out on an unsuspecting person. And that goes for females too. I just need a good man, and I'm a good woman. I cook, I clean, I do all of that. You know what I'm saying? And then you go berserk on the most strangest things can trigger you. And it's because parts of your shelf have been shattered from different points. of your childhood and as you grew up through your teenage years. And now it is time to go and bring those parts of you back and put them back where they belong inside of you, understanding that these things are you're responsible for. Okay, you're responsible for the outbursts and the crazy stuff that you've done and the crazy things you've allowed yourself to do, the drinking, the drugging, the being promiscuous out here with any and everybody, all of those things that you did, you are responsible and have to answer to these things, and these are your responsibilities that you must take responsibility for. I'm only helping you deal with them now before the Most High gets here. So you have time to ask for forgiveness for these things. So you can forgive yourself for these things. And you can forgive the others that participated in these situations with you. See, that's the big part, is that we don't want to forgive these people. Yes, this situation will be brought up again in the very near future in your life, not in your lifetime, but when you're done with this particular classroom, these situations will come back to be recalled. When you're in that courtroom again, and this is judgment against what you have done in your lifetime and the things that you have endured, these things and these people you will see again in that courtroom. And no, you're not going to, here comes Uncle such and such that did this to me. You're not going to do that, because you're going to have the person in which I told you about for you to get to know standing there, understanding all sides of the situation. All sides. You must let this go. It is not helping you. You say, I ain't got no problem. I done made amends with that. I guarantee you, all the other people around you would beg to differ. They beg to differ. Your friends, your family, be like, you ain't got over that shit. She ain't got over that shit. They tell you that. And you're like, what do you mean? I have. I'm fine. All praises to the Most High. Everything is good. And as soon as somebody does something, you blow up. What you mean? Kids, go get your clothes, get your coats. Let's get the hell out of here. And you have lost your complete and utter mind in 2.2 seconds because somebody said something that triggered you. You ready to beat somebody's grandma on the ground because they said something crazy. And they said something to you, and you say, well, what you mean by that? What did you say? To my child? To me? To my husband? I mean, you ready to go there? 0 to 100? Or there's some of us who just freeze up, and they can't do anything. They need a couple of days to recuperate because somebody bought something up that or they saw somebody, and it just took them to another space. We have got to go back and find those lost children. We the lost tribe, lost children of Israel in so many ways, it's not even funny, baby. Many of us lost a lot of ourselves in our childhood. Many people usurped a lot of our power in our childhoods, in our teenage years. And we have to go back and take that power back. Forgive ourselves and forgive the other parties, as hard as that may be. We must, in order for us to move on. See, this is a part of the ladder. People's like, what ladder are you talking about? The ladder called the tree of life. That ladder that Kabbalah talks about. See, it's a code inside of a code. You don't know it yet. Keep reading. You'll see it. It's a code inside of a code. It's all about you. And it's all about love. It truly is. It's all about love, and it's all about you. In order for you to let go of the things in which you hold, the upsetment, the resentment, and the anger, you're going to have to deal with love in order to get to victory, which is on the other side of the ladder, the other part of the ladder. Love, victory. Pull yourself up. Next level, understanding, wisdom. And you understand the part of the matter. You get up there to the Keter, which is the crown. You get your crown when you get up there. because you've learned to let it go. Because you can see all parts of the situation, good and bad, your part, they part. Just because somebody else did something terrible to you doesn't mean you have the right to punish them, talk about them, make them feel a certain type of way for the rest of their life, and you all walk around with grudges with each other. You're going to have to let that go and go on about your life. You may not ever have to be around that person again, but you have to let it go so you can move on with your life. Because as long as you hold on to it, it's going to affect any and everybody all around you. And continue to do so. And then actually affect your children. You don't want to pass that kind of poison down to your babies. Now come on now. So that was the lesson for today. I hope you all liked it. We're going to deep dive some more. But today I showed you how to walk through that door of handling, grabbing some of the shattered pieces of yourself, and going to get those kids that were left in rooms, going to get those girls that were left in a room after being violently misused by somebody. You're going to have to go back and get them, because you can't be whole without going back and getting them and taking them with you and bringing them to a safe space so they can be okay, because that part of you can. You're past it, yes, in the reality that you're in, but you have to be past it in the spirit too. I'll see you guys next time.